sorry, plants are alive. Plants have feelings. Okay.
Plants have feelings.
Okay.
We should take that into consideration.
So plants don't feel any pain. They have no emotions. They certainly don't squirt with blood or scream when we pull them from the ground. And ask your conscience this question: do you feel any kind of guilt while chopping a carrot in half? You're not ripping away from a mother or ending their life.
As well.
That's a good statement there. So let me just answer that one.
No feelings. I'm eating them.
Let me just answer the plant
Sure.
kind of objects in there. So there's a difference between slicing a carrot and slicing an animal's head off, okay? Because I'm sure you'd be happy slicing the carrot yourself, but if I was to hold down an animal while they're screaming, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to slice their head off. Now, let's go back to look at that a little closer. So a carrot doesn't have a central nervous system. It doesn't have a brain, so they don't feel pain.
But how do you know what kind of nervous system animals got?
An animal, because I've studied biochemistry. So an animal has a brain, a central nervous system.
Yes.
They
When a
breathe
dog's chewing on
and
my
they
goddamn
feel
leg,
just
I'm gonna
like us.
shoot
They're
him in the
born.
head.
They're not grown. They're exactly the same as us.
Right.
So plants are not
Plants
sentient.
are
They're
different-
insentient.
Yes. They a sentient animal.
A sentient.
Yeah, insentient.
Insentient.
Insentient?
Mm-hmm.
What word are we looking for here? We got the one that's going up.
A
or-
sentient being
a
is
sentient.
one that has a brain,
Okay.
that feels, that is
You and me are both sentient.
I'm
Insentient
just
would
a
be
drunken idiot.
plants,
That's okay.
amoebas. Now, who's to say what certain things do feel and do not feel? We don't know how plants
Right.
react. We do know
Mhm.
that an animal has a nervous central system,
Yeah.
which is similar to ours. So yes, they feel more than plants. But does that negate our respect given to plants?
I think it all narrows back down to your self-conscience. So if you're holding an animal here and you've got a knife, and I'm telling you, firstly, a carrot, and you just chop the carrot, and the carrot's not pulling away from you, the carrot's not screaming and trying to get away. It's obvious the carrot is grown and the carrot is a piece of food. The animal's screaming and fighting
yes.
for his or her
Yes. Oh yes.
last
Okay.
breath.
So
Right?
I have also hunted animals,
Uh-huh.
Really?
not for sport. I would
eat.
never hunt
Oh, really?
an animal for sport. When we were hungry and I had 5 kids to feed,
Okay.
we had to put food on the table. We didn't make enough money up on the mountain where we lived, so I actually killed a deer. I've killed 3 actually, but when I did, I cried. I also gave thanks to God,
Oh,
and
really?
I asked forgiveness for killing one of God's special creatures.
So let me ask you real quickly. So and tell me what you really think here. If the animal could speak before you was about to kill the animal, what do you think the animal would say to you?
The animal would be crying,
Oh, wait
please
a
don't
minute.
do this.
Isn't it a quicker death?
Please do not do this, because they were young animals, and I'm sure
They
they
were
wanted
like
to have
babies?
their own families.
Is it a quicker
Exactly.
death for a deer to get drilled or run over on this highway out here
Right.
with a semi?
Well, I can tell you as a vegan, if there's an animal that's been hit by a truck and it's lying in the street, I'm 100% fine with you eating that animal. That's fine.
I'm
I'm talking about stealing the animal's life when they don't want to die.
Right. Accidents are not preventable. They're accidents.
Right.
They're not meant to happen.
I think I was
Now-
an accident.
Me going out and hunting, that is not an accident. I am going out to take another's life.
Okay.
Now, they do have wants and desires. They do have families. They do have feelings. And yes, I take that in consideration. My children, I put them first. I would not kill anything
Oh, you mean
Ever.
anyone?
or anyone
Okay.
without an absolute necessity, my kids needed food.
So at the time, would you say you was in like survival mode?
We were extremely in
desperate?
survival mode.
I used to
in
go out on the clothesline and get rabbits off of it. We'd kill 50 on a day
Uh-huh.
and
Oh
clean 'em.
no.
Put them out on a clothesline.
In the wintertime, there's no vegetables from the garden. If you've eaten them all,
Mhm.
you get what you can get. And at the time, deer were available.
You
They
didn't-
were legally to
Would
hunt.
you say it's would you say it's natural to kill an animal and eat the animal?
I don't
It's
think
natural.
nothing about killing is
Oh,
natural.
bear's coming out, man. I got my 357 Magnum out.
Well, that's
He's gonna eat
self-defense.
me. I'm gonna
You're
have
talking
to
about
shoot him.
self-defense.
I have a rifle, I have a shotgun, I have a handgun.
So let me ask you: if I give you a choice, I can give you a steak sandwich where someone had lost his or her life, and you're going to eat the sandwich and it's gone in 10, 15 minutes.
Talk
You
about
poop it
sandwiches.
out.
I think I
Or
got one
or I can give you a vegan steak sandwich. It tastes just the same, but no one had to die. Which one would you choose
I would
today?
probably do the vegan anymore because I
Because-
have eaten vegan food. I do think it takes.
Do you think it makes a moral-
And it does. It's probably.
Do you think by any chance there's somewhere that the animal not having to die might outweigh the choice on that sandwich choice there? No one has to die. Maybe the sandwich is
Exactly.
maybe I can
Because
show some mercy and
life is precious.
It is.
Every
If you
life is
don't
precious.
call the herd, you're going to get a ton of fluctuation,
okay.
and Joe Biden don't want that shit going up in the air.
All right. So two important questions,
Yes.
and it's a two-part question, so you can both agree or disagree. Are you against animal abuse,
Yes.
Charlie? Are you against animal abuse?
I don't interact with animals.
Okay. So, do you think stabbing an animal in the throat and killing them for a sandwich is animal abuse?
Yes, actually it is.
Do you think it's possible for us to be against animal abuse while still going into the stores and paying for it to happen, like paying for meat, eggs, and dairy?
You know, when you go into a store, a lot of people don't understand how those animals
You mean
die.
we don't see it because
We
it's
don't
behind
see it,
walls,
so,
right?
So
Okay.
it's not fathomable to most people.
Okay.
Now, on the other hand, my son works for a farmer, so I know how those poor cows, the goats, the sheep,
Right.
that they're killed with those bolts to the head.
Mhm.
I can't imagine. They take those tractors out into the plots and they ran over little bitty guys because they didn't get out of the way fast enough, and they don't have a care about it.
So, I mean, if we put ourselves in the animal's position, would we want that done to
Oh
us?
heck no!
So
No,
you
no,
know, there's a
no,
golden
no.
rule: do unto others how you would
They
want to be treated.
Yes.
So if you say you're against animal abuse while you're still
Mm-hmm.
going into the store paying for it, what would that make us?
Hypocrites.
hypocrite.
Definitely hypocrites. I do enjoy meat occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat it all the time.
Which one do you think is more important? There's another question for you. So you got a steak sandwich with potatoes, nice fries, a little crispy side there, and it's gone in 5-10 minutes. Or someone's entire life. Which is more important? Taste of pleasure or someone's entire life?
Entire life.
You have that choice to show mercy and choose
Mm-hmm.
something that doesn't harm someone else, right?
Right. Right.
And you already said that life's precious, right?
Life is precious.
So what's stopping you from going vegan? Taste and pleasure? We already talked about that, right?
Accessibility, I guess.
Accessibility.
The small town I live in offers nothing vegan.
So when I first went vegan, I didn't have a clue what I was going to eat, and I do a lot of research. I go to Walmart. Did you know it's cheaper to be vegan than not to be?
Really?
To be vegan, I can eat
Go to Dillon's and try.
all
Now,
potatoes, the
I
vegetables, the
will tell
beans,
you,
the rice, the breads.
I love rice. I love breads. I love.
You know they do vegan steak, vegan fish, vegan chicken now.
You know, I've been watching
Do you
programs.
actually know what they fertilize the rice with?
It's a non-dead animal. That's all I know.
No.
No one had to die.
Human excrement.
Okay.
And-
That's what
and
they
that-
got them
that
little
is true.
pots on them little sticks, and they're running
Uh-huh.
out to the countryside and dump that shit on that rice.
I think you're talking shit there, but okay.
No, I've been there.
Actually, he is
Right.
truthful about that.
Mhm.
My brother-in-law.
So
They
let
do
me
use
let me interrupt you real
females
quick.
for this.
So I mean, what does it feel like to be a hypocrite?
I don't know.
Does that make us a real person? If we define the word hypocrite,
I don't know.
what does it mean?
Actually, you can't.
If I say, "Oh no, I'm against animal abuse," well, I go to the
But
store and I
no,
pay
you go
someone
out
to
and
chop
have
the
a
heads
regular
off.
Steak,
A
it does
hypocrite.
that.
Right, because that's what we're doing when we
Yeah,
go in the
yes,
store.
yes.
Even though we can't see
You
it,
think
we're
that's gonna
paying.
keep me out of heaven?
We're directly responsible. What do you care about heaven?
Oh, I love.
I
I.
want to
I
meet God and shake his hand.
Well, you can do that, but we're talking about today in this world.
Well, I ain't gonna be there around. You're gonna be around a while, but I ain't.
Okay.
My age. My speed.
I really would like to change my behavior. I don't mind.
What kind of
eating-
behavior you do?
I don't mind.
You mean
Eating
drinking
veggies?
in your
Would-
corral?
Oh, drinking.
If I give you a
Drinking
card,
doesn't-
And your
if I give you a
corral
card
and your
with a list of
wildlife.
documentaries on there, they're all free to watch. Would you watch them?
Yeah, I do now actually. Like I was saying, I've been watching some. Okay, we watch Diner Dives and Drive, whatever that is. With
Yeah. I don't think that's real. That's more of
No.
a drama kind of fun
it is,
show.
but
but-
lately he's been hitting a lot of vegan areas.
Okay.
He's been going to Oregon, Washington.
Oh yeah, I think
Um,
I saw a couple of those. But
mhm,
I'm
and-
going to give you a card that has a list of documentaries. They're all free to watch. And the one I want you to watch is called Dominion. And there's a website. It's watchdominion.com. It's
Okay.
absolutely free to watch. Watch it on the big screen though,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can make up your own
My
mind because
85-inch
I will
television.
tell you there's a lot of hidden truths in the meat, egg, and dairy
Well,
industry
and
that
like
you don't
I-
know.
Like I said, I don't drink milk because
I
I,
do.
can't.
Do-
My body can't tolerate
Let
it.
me ask you. I've got 3 quick questions for you before we wrap up the interview here. Question 1: did you know that cows don't naturally give milk?
And yes, I do. I
So-
do know that.
So how do they give milk?
They got 4 stomachs.
They get.
Sooner or later, it's coming out
They get-
milk.
They have to be pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Pregnant?
forced
Yes.
the farmer
Cows I milk.
the farmer forcibly impregnates the cow,
Uh-uh.
and if the baby cows are male, are worthless to the dairy industry, and the male calves are sometimes
I used to
killed
help my uncle
a couple of hours
milk
a couple of hours old.
13 head in the morning and in the evening, and one of them cows were pregnant. And they gave.
As soon as mother
Because
shows
I
any
was
kind of
raised on
weakness,
a farm.
she's actually sent to the slaughterhouse and she has her head chopped off.
There you go.
There's no mercy shown to these animals.
Alright.
The female exploitation,
McDonald's is a
i
big.
it's appalling, and if you as the child, you wouldn't want to be ripped away from your mother, or vice versa, as you as a mother, your children ripped away from you, even though you were forcibly impregnated. This is disgusting, you know.
That is.
So this is just the dairy industry. In the egg industry, it's pretty much similar. When the eggs are laid, they can't tell whether it's a male or female, and the males are worthless again to the egg industry. They might keep a few back for roosters, and the
Yes.
rest are just.
Now,
In today's world, they
Where-
suffocate them, put them in
This-
bags, and tie the knot.
This is definitely something I know a lot about.
Okay.
My ex-mother-in-law had chicken houses. She raised them for
my
Tyson.
ex-wife was
Houses. They also had so many in each of those houses. I couldn't go in them. They smell terrible. Those
Oh yeah, they
chickens
call it
live-
free range.
Oh God, they
Cage free chickens,
they
like
smell
20,000 chickens in a shed.
They would kill
well, that's
each other,
the
laying
producer.
on
They,
each other.
They
There
actually
were
have
so
a big
many in
caves
there.
out there in the
Right.
middle of nowhere.
So and you
It
like
was
eggs?
Horrible.
You like
I don't.
eggs?
No, I don't like eggs. I don't.
So
eat eggs.
when we eat eggs, we're directly paying for that kind of suffering the animals go through, for that kind of cruelty.
that is one thing I don't. I do not like eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are eggs in some of the things I do ingest, but I don't see them specifically. But I do.
So let me quickly mention, the meat industry, which is the worst of all. So cows, they have this throats slit wide open. They usually choke on their own blood. Pigs are pushed into gas chambers, and chickens go through a bloodbath.
Yes.
And I remember you telling me you
Yes.
worked for Tyson at some point.
Yes, I worked for Tyson, and I watched them hang chickens by their feet. They were asleep. There are 2 bicycle tires that they run through, and they literally cut the head off.
Right.
And then the chickens hang upside down and bleed all the way into the vat where they bleach them, and then the next process is to
How did you get to see all this? Was
we took a tour, and Tyson Incorporated
What
in
tour?
Dardanelle, Arkansas.
There you go.
when you was
yes.
working there?
I
Arkansas,
was starting
Missouri.
to work there. Yes.
Okay, so the
it
like
was
an
one of-
orientation class,
It was one of the biggest.
slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not a
yeah.
process I like. Not a process I'm proud of
Right.
being behind. But when
So how did it make you feel when you saw the killing?
Oh, it
and
was
the-
it was awful. I threw up.
Ah, shit, you ain't seen nothing till you see a man stand next to you with his head blown off with a 50 caliber.
Actually, I
in
saw.
Vietnam.
I didn't see a man shoot. But I have seen a man burned to death. I have seen a man electrocuted. It shot through his head from his feet
Right.
because he jumped down from the truck and his grandson wasn't washing, and they had put the lift up against the live
Oh, really?
wire. And when he jumped down, he wasn't grounded. So
I mean, there's a difference between someone being accidentally killed or killed
No,
at
Yes.
war or in defense,
Right.
or being directly responsible for their
Killing is
death
killing.
for
That is
food.
true. That
you
is
know.
true. I believe in protecting mine. If somebody is after one of my children, one of my loved ones, I will protect them.
Right.
I wouldn't like to kill somebody. I would try to wound them. But if they kept coming, I would kill them if I had to. I wouldn't like it.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of taking a life.
Yeah, it would bug me.
When you worked at the slaughterhouse, I mean, how long did you work there for?
I worked there about 3 years.
About 3 years. How long ago was that?
Let's see. That was back in 1981.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yes,
Okay.
1981, 1982.
Okay. And did you see the animals being killed daily, or was you working in a
that
different
was the
area?
only time I ever saw any of the animals killed.
Okay.
Was on orientation. By the time
Mm-hmm.
I did my processing, the animals were already deceased. I got a basic body, and I
and you
pulled the breast
packaged.
meat off,
Okay.
and that was my job.
Did you get to see what did they do with the animals' heads and the head and the?
They make
feet
them in
and-
hot dogs.
Actually, no, they don't. They use the heads, some of the
Fertilizer.
feet,
Right.
dog food and cat food.
Oh, really? Wow.
That
You know
is-
what?
that is
Do you
what
know
goes
what
into
blood
them.
blots are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so I got one more
Cut up a
question.
pork line
Okay.
and I fix pork chops.
So let me ask
Real
you. I'll throw it out there for both of you. So, if you're against animal abuse and you're still going to the store paying for it to happen, and you understand that this would make us a hypocrite, if we don't want to be a hypocrite and we can align our morals that we say we have with our actions by
Choosing not to.
choosing a plant-based alternative so the animal doesn't have to suffer on our behalf. In turn, what do you think the number one benefit for us doing that would be?
Or health.
Our health.
Our health, and
Okay.
I think that if we raised more vegetables and plants, number one, the CO2 level in the world.
So
would benefit.
our health and the CO2. That's a good answer. But I mean, first of all, the first benefit actually is the animals don't have to
Animals
suffer
don't have to suffer.
because of you
Right.
anymore.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have the blood on your hands. You won't be directly responsible for their suffering anymore.
Right.
But the actual number one benefit is you would no longer be a hypocrite anymore.
Right. Right.
Your morals and actions
Agreed.
would be in line, and you'd be saying who you really are.
Agreed. And I've always been a vegetable person. I didn't eat meat when I was young. I hated, from the get-go, I didn't like eggs. I watched my father kill a cow that I was friends with on my uncle's farm.
Yeah.
Milking them, I didn't know the whole process, but yes, I watched them. I didn't know how that all worked, but I never would eat the eggs, and I never would. Oh, see, no, I never would do that, and I wouldn't drink the milk. Number one, I'm allergic to cow's milk.
Mhm.
I'm allergic to goat's milk. I had a derivative and basically soy. So I was on a plant-based diet from a very young age.
Right.
I'm not allergic to anything.
Final question.
Yes.
Final question is, what do you think happens if for every day we don't go vegan? What happens to the animals?
They suffer.
Because of who?
Something
Because of
bigger and
us.
stronger is going to come and eat 'em.
Our choices.
Yes, our choices.
All right. If we had
Okay.
a
So I'm gonna give you a card. It's got a list of documentaries that are all free to watch. Some are on Netflix, some are on YouTube. Watch them in your own time, and then make up your own mind. Okay.
if we had a
All right, well, thanks for talking today.
Holocaust
You're
or
very
something
welcome.
like that, you know.
So understanding the importance of your food choices. Plant-based foods are grown in the ground, don't have a mother or a father, and they're food. There's no one inside them experiencing life with a desire to live. They produce seeds for us to eat. Natural foods don't suffer. Eggs. Eggs are a female hen's menstrual cycle, loaded with bad cholesterol that harms the body. When animals are killed, their lives are destroyed. They're broken families. They live in suffer, fear, and can be disguised with a pretty flower to look like food, when in fact, number one carcinogens can cause cancer, loaded with bad cholesterol. Have you ever heard of anyone going into the hospital because they ate too many vegetables? This world mixes the real foods, fruits, beans, rice, pastas, with so-called meat products from animals that didn't want to die. Can you tell the difference between which food is good, which food is bad? Can the world manipulate you? What about the meat, egg and dairy industry? Billion companies, can they take advantage of your purchasing choices by using words like free range, pasture raised, humane? They're all lies. Animals, it's impossible to humanely kill an animal. Let's look at some vegan outreach and how we can wake up the public and try and plant some seeds so people might see the truth. Hey, do you get, I don't suppose you know, do you guys have anything like cruelty free, like vegan?
The cereal. That'd be cool, be very.
No, unfortunately. But thank you though.
No chips, we got the noodles.
I find it weird that your steak restaurant doesn't have anything either in this
I
place.
don't know, honey.
The world is changing slowly.
Yes, it is.
But thank you though.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, so let's go in here. I'm going to ask him if they have any cruelty-free products. Just so they understand that all they're selling is cruel.
Hello there. How are you?
Oh good, how are you?
Ready on the escape.
All right, so I kind of have a strange question. So, do you guys cater for vegans? Do you have vegan options?
We do not have a vegan option, unfortunately.
So no cruelty-free stuff. No. Okay. Just curious.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, this one's empty. This truck's empty. So they also come over here to get cleaned as well. They have a deluxe truck wash, so they can wash the blood off their hands. Alright, so here's the main entrance to the slaughterhouse. We're just going to drive in. Side note, it is under 24-hour surveillance. I was taking video once out here and they came out and surrounded my car and took me inside, wanted me to delete everything off my phone. So I deleted everything, however retrieved it later from the trash can. Alright, so this to my right is the break room. We're going to do a little film here. Because they're eating their snacks between killing animals. Right outside the kill floor. This is the kill floor here, where these big windows are open. I have to have the AC on and the windows closed because it's like 100 outside. But let's try something. We'll turn the AC off. Windows down. You can hear them. That's right, they're all being brutally killed right now. So the smell that I can smell right now, I wouldn't wish that anyone could smell like. It's absolutely disgusting. I just smell dead bodies and blood and death. That's it. I can smell the pigs too. The manure, the sweat from the pigs. It's kind of shocking. The view from the bridge. Beautiful. I wish I could just get out and take a walk around there. we're going to stop there on the way back.